Hi everyone, I just wanted to make a video about my thyroidectomy story. I had a total thyroidectomy about 2.5 weeks ago and everything's going really well, and so I just wanted to share my story with everyone that might be having that surgery coming up, just to put you more at ease. I know that some of the videos had scared me quite a bit, and some of them had helped me quite a bit, and so I'm hoping that this one will help you. About 9 months ago, back in January, I had started feeling pressure in my neck, especially when I bent forward. I felt like someone was choking me. And also when I turned my head to the side, I felt like I couldn't breathe. And a few times I woke up in the middle of the night not able to breathe. And so I went to the doctor, and they felt my thyroid and said that it was quite a bit enlarged. And so referred me to an endocrinologist. And I saw him, and he did an ultrasound and said that my thyroid was twice the size that it should have been, and also had a 1.5 centimeter solid nodule on it, which they weren't too concerned about because it was small in size, but the fact that it was bothering me so much, he recommended surgery, and he said that it was Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And about 10 years ago, I had been to an endocrinologist, and because I was having other symptoms, I had a ovarian cyst that was causing all kinds of problems, and so they sent me there. And the endocrinologist at that time said that I had Hashimoto's. I had the antibodies in my blood, and so at that time, my thyroid function was completely fine, and there is no cure for Hashimoto's, and so there wasn't anything that they were going to do at that point. I didn't want to go on any thyroid meds because my thyroid function was fine. And so that was 10 years ago, and at my yearly physicals, my thyroid function was always fine, and so I never thought anything about the Hashimoto's. Now, knowing more about it, if I would have started on a small amount, it may have kept it from growing to the size that it was. Although I would have had to deal with symptoms of maybe possibly being hyperthyroid. So it was kind of a give or take. I didn't do anything, and then I got to this point where my thyroid was choking me and was double the size that it should have been. So I did get a second opinion. I didn't want to just go on what this one endocrinologist said, which he recommended surgery. I went to another endocrinologist, and he said that I could wait. So I kind of gave it the summertime to see if anything would happen. It did not shrink, and I was still feeling the symptoms pretty bad. It was causing headaches. Every time I moved down, I would get like shooting headaches going up. And that was just hard to deal with, having headaches all the time. So I just kept kind of asking doctors different questions. I went to my general doctor, and she recommended surgery as well. I went to a surgeon and had a meeting with him, and he recommended surgery. My general doctor said that if I was her sister, that she would drag me there in to get surgery. So she was more concerned about the nodule being cancerous. I did have a fine needle biopsy where they pulled out some cells, and they came back atypical. So again, it wasn't really telling us much. It wasn't cancer, but the cells were changing, and that's why my general doctor was very concerned and wanted me to have it out, just because they get such a small amount when they do the fine needle biopsy, and that there could have been cancer back in there that they weren't able to get with just that one needle biopsy. So I went ahead and scheduled the surgery, which I had October 28th of this year, 2016. That was 2.5 weeks ago. You can see my scar is doing pretty well. It's got one little scab left on it. It's pretty small, and I did have the whole thyroid removed. They put me on 100 milligrams of the generic Synthroid, and I was on pain medication for about 2 days, and after that, just Tylenol, and the pain wasn't that bad. What else? They did not damage, but shock my parathyroid during the surgery. He said that my thyroid was very swollen and sticky and sticking to my parathyroid, and so it put them into shock a little bit. And he said that symptoms from that, I went very low calcium, and so I had to go on calcium afterwards because I'm getting just like a little bit of tingling in my hands. And you can also get tingling in your feet and in your mouth, and you can get like cramps in your legs. And I haven't had any of that, but I've just had a little bit of tingling in my hands. So he said that could last from 2 weeks to 2 months, hopefully not longer than that. It could be permanent, but praying not. So I am on calcium, and so I take 2 Tums in the morning, and at first I was taking 2 in the morning, 2 at lunch, and 2 at night, but now I'm backing off, so I'm 2 in the morning, 1 at lunch, and 1 at night, and then magnesium to also help that absorb, and then I think it's called calcitrol. I take that's a vitamin D that helps it absorb, and that is twice a day, and now I'm backing off to once a day on that. So little by little, I'm able to back off on the calcium things, and I'm doing really well. I went back to Zumba last week for the first time, so that was only after like a week and a half I started exercising again. I probably shouldn't have, but I was really concerned that I was going to gain weight, and I haven't gained any weight. I had lost weight because I was really nervous about the surgery, so I had lost about 7 pounds, and I've put a few of those back on, but I started walking again, and then I did Zumba again today, so I've done it twice, and I didn't last through the whole thing. I did like about 45 minutes, but I'm feeling pretty good. I'm just trying to be gentle, with my movements, with my neck, and I haven't had any problems with my neck. A lot of people talk about that. My neck's been really good, and I've just been trying to, move it around and exercise it, and I felt good, and at night I've been sleeping pretty good. I just wake up my usual once or twice a night, and I'm able to sleep however I want. I can sleep on my back now, which I couldn't at all when my thyroid was swollen. So I'm trying to think of what other questions. The hospital was just pretty good. Right before the surgery, when the anesthesiologist came in, he asked me a couple questions, and I said goodbye to my husband, and he started putting something in my IV right away. So by the time I was wheeled out of the room, I was already out. So I didn't have that view of all the doctors over me and the oxygen mask coming over my face, which was kind of nice because I just don't remember anything. And I've had other surgeries where I remember being in the operating room and having all the doctors standing over me, and that was more stressful. So I'm really glad that I was out before I even went in, and that the surgery only took an hour and a half. I used an endocrinologist, not an endocrinologist, a surgeon that was an ear, nose, and throat specialist, and he was very good. He'd done over 4,000 thyroidectomies, and I just felt really comfortable with him from the beginning. From the first time I met him, he was very positive and just seemed very trustworthy. He said my scar would go completely away, which I know it won't, but he was just so positive and made me feel at ease. And so I really recommend, finding a ear, nose, and throat specialist that has done many neck surgeries, and that's someone that you feel really positive about and comfortable with. And the nurses were great. I walked around a lot after my surgery. I walked all through the halls right away, and I was on morphine and then eventually on pain pills, but they only kept me one night over. So I went home the next day, just right around lunchtime, and when I came home, I was eating soft foods, but by that night I had just a regular dinner, so it was sore to swallow. I did bring like cough drops, and I sucked on those in the hospital, and I recommend bringing those because by the time you get the nurse there, your throat sometimes hurts, and so you want something to suck on. I also brought a little mini fan with me, and if you have hot flashes at all, or if you tend to be hot and cold, which I always am, that really helped and just made me feel better. So anything that can make you feel good when you're in the hospital. I brought my iPad so I could watch Netflix. I brought headphones and my phone. My husband kept them for me and gave them to me right when I came out of surgery, so I had things to distract me. And I think I brought like my North Face jacket that's really fuzzy, and I could have like something like that, that was soft that I could just kind of hang on to. And so anything that you think that might make you feel, good when you're at the hospital. They had socks, so I didn't really use my slippers that much. I just brought like sweats to go home in. Trying to think of what else. That's about it. So anyway, if you have any comments and questions, feel free to ask me. I hope that this might help someone who might be going through this. Oh, and on top of everything else, it wasn't cancer, so I'm really happy about that, and that was a big thank you, Jesus. So I had a lot of people praying for me, and I also had meals delivered for the first week from girls from my church, and I was so thankful for that because, oh, it was great just to not have to stress about meals for my family and to have something to look forward to every day. Someone came to the house and talked to me, and that was just so encouraging. So I just pray for everyone that's going through this, and hope the best of luck for your individual situation. Thanks. Bye.